Welcome to Board Gaming with Austin. Today I'm going to be reviewing a board game called Galileo. It is a board game by a company called Sorry We Are French. It is 2 to 4 players for age 14 and up, and it plays in 40 to 80 minutes. This video is going to contain 2 parts. It's going to contain going over the review ratings for components, directions, and gameplay. Then we are going to be talking about my personal thoughts on this game. This game receives a components quality score of 5 stars. The reason for that is the components are absolutely beautiful in this game. Let me go over what they are. In this game, you're going to get 10 double-sided robotic project cards, some robot cards, some character cards, and I'm going to show you what those look like. That's the art of the character cards, and that's the art of the robot cards. And that's the backs of them and the symbols representing their characters and robots. Sorry, this board game is a mess because I just got done with a game. And this is what it's going to look like. Then you have some wooden tokens, and there's going to be some influence markers, some development markers, goal markers, assignment modifiers, robot modifiers, and the robotic project cards I'll get to later, but they're the most confusing components in this game. And yes, you do have 24 mega credits, which are legit poker chips with cool designs on them. There's no dice rolling, but this game is very beautiful and has tons of other components that you'll love. You don't need dice. Everyone doesn't need dice. The directions, I give them a 3. And the main reason for that is, 1, there is no player aid. There's a lot of symbols in this game, and these symbols are very hard to remember, and it's not very easy to understand what those mean. Yeah, so you have to go to the directions and refer to the directions a lot. Luckily, the directions do actually state what every item is, but they need to be giving you a player aid to be placing next to your board that contains this information, or as much of this information as you can. At the back, they show every single character, every single robot, every single goal, and they need to have the player aid. The directions are also really confusing. This is what I was talking about when I say project robot cards, robot modifier chips, and assignment modifiers. I'm talking about these components. So this card is going to be alongside your player board, and you're going to be building a robot. Now, you start this side at the beginning of the game because you get these benefits, but if you get robots in the future, you start on this side with no extra benefits. This chip is the robot modifier, and you get these. Pay attention to this symbol here. You get these by hiring characters. See that symbol there? When you get this card and use that ability, then you get this to place on your either your project robot or one of your robots on the board. And then this is an assignment modifier, and that is also from a character card, and it has its own special design. It's a circle with 4 colors across it. I can't find one right now, but the confusing part was the game kind of like, the directions kind of add that at the very end, and they don't show these symbols separately. The symbol for this and the symbol for that. They don't show them separately. They show the symbol for this behind the symbol for that. And it was very confusing because it makes you think that they're all one symbol and that they can't be separate. Also, the symbol for these aren't anywhere on these tokens. Like, they should have put them on the back of them. And finally, the gameplay. The gameplay is a 4 to me, and the only thing keeping it from a 5 is what I'm about to show you right now. You see on the board that you have characters here and robots here. That's pretty much the main part of the game. You hire characters to increase your influence on the board, influence on Earth or influence on Mars down this track. And when you have enough influence, you can buy your robots. The robots get placed onto your player board. And the player board, which is beautiful quality, it's the quality of a real game board, has planets on it. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I love the quality of these chips. All right, so the overall quality, directions, and components give this game a 3.8, which rounds up to a level rating of 4. Let me give you my personal review of this now. I gave you a scoring of 4, but why? What is this game actually for? Who is it for? So it's for people who love gaining victory points, but you're not fleshing out so much that everyone has their own 1 or 2 different ways they're going after victory points. These victory points, there's a few ways to get victory points, and that's going to be from the goals over here that you achieve during your turn. You can get 1 or 2 victory points from achieving these technologies. You can get victory points from your planets. As you level up your planet, you're going to be getting victory points as you go. And then finally, the way to get victory points is from playing these characters. So there's a couple ways to play these characters. You can play them in the future by doing the bottom part of the card, and you place them under the bottom of your game board, and that's scored at the end of the game. Or you can take their immediate benefit, which is on the top. Those are the only ways you can get victory points in the game, and that's about the only importance of the game. The only way you play the game is to get victory points. And there is some comboing, which is another thing that I really like. I also love card games, and there's a lot of cards in this. But comboing is with these. So you have this little chip on the top here, or on the board here, and it's showing you that when you put 1 satellite on your planets, 1 satellite gives you 1 energy. When you add a second satellite robot to your planets, then you're going to get 3 influence, and so on and so forth. And another robot, to show you actual comboing, is this one. This one gives, when you play this onto the planets, you get 1 power for any robot. When you add a second one of this robot, you then add up both robots and give that amount of power to any robot. So if you have 2, that's 1, 2. You give 2 power to any robot. You add a third, it's 1, 2, 3. You give 3 power to any robot. And it really allows you to stack and gain those multipliers, and then you're getting the victory points, because one of the victory points is whoever victory points for every robot 5 or higher. And yeah, I do recommend this game, and just the components alone in the art makes me want to recommend you go out and buy it. Thank you.